Shut your mind. Hello and welcome to Let Me Touch Your Mind, the show where we try to get you to be something, do something, experience something, enjoy something, or in today's case, support something. There's so many beautiful animals out there who need to find homes and love, and there are people out there who are making sure that happens. One of those places is the Palo Alto Humane Society, and they are having a contest. So here to talk about it, I'd like to welcome Director Carole Hyde and Education Manager Leonor Delgado. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So first, tell us a little bit about the Palo Alto Humane Society, and I'd like to ask Carole to cover that one.
Yes, so we are always thrilled to say we are one of the oldest humane societies in California. Mm-hmm. Since 1908, we've been helping animals, and we've been helping people with their animals. We've always looking for new ways to do that. And one of the things that we do is to help people, qualifying people with veterinary emergencies. Mm-hmm. And we have a big spay-neuter program. We advocate for good public policy. And we do a lot of education for the community, especially for young people. And I know we'll be talking about that today.
Well, let's talk about that. What are some of the things that resonate with young people when you're trying to do education outreach, Leonor?
Oh, well, resonate is the first thing is how do I take care of my own pet? And we do a lot of instruction about that, good practices in taking care of pets. Mm-hmm. They also want to know how to adopt a pet, and we give them advice. And they're also interested in helping us. What can they do to help us? So right now we have lots of students of all ages working on different kinds of projects for us. We have a new group that's making blankets for us. We're always receiving donations of food, blankets, toys from different school groups and scout groups. Mm-hmm. We've started a youth board, and that youth board is doing a huge project for us involving videos and print materials around the use of pesticides in the local community and what effect do they have and how can we avoid using pesticides so they don't hurt just as much us as the wildlife and pets that accompany us in the community. That's just a small segment of what we're doing right now.
Okay, so this question is for both of you. So when I think of the Humane Society, I think mainly of stray dogs and cats, but it sounds like this covers a much larger range of animals. Is that correct?
Yes, it's part of our mission to create a new generation of compassionate people who are concerned about the well-being of animals. So we look at all of nature and all of the creatures on the earth. So we have a very wide palette of interests, and that attracts lots of young people. Mm-hmm. And our writing contest promotes the idea of how people and animals can help each other. And we're really pleased this year to welcome middle school students from San Francisco to join our competition. The deadline is July 31, so you have plenty of time to write a wonderful story about how you have helped an animal and an animal has helped you in return. And we can talk about some of the stories that we've received in the past.
Well, I would love that. So the name of the contest is Ambassadors of Compassion. Mm-hmm. And how long have you been running this writing contest?
Well, we've been doing this. This is our fourth year.
Oh, okay.
Our fourth competition, yes.
Wait a minute. So, in fourth year, does that include the pandemic years, or?
Yes, it does include the pandemic years.
All right. So that had to have been because wouldn't that mean that the first year was like 2019 or?
Yes.
Okay.
The first year was 2019, and this is our fourth year. 2022.
So were the types of stories that came in during the pandemic different from the stories that came in from your first year?
Some of them were, but most of them touched exactly on what Carole mentioned, the interaction between people and animals and how we, meaning all of us, animals and people, help each other get through difficult times. Some of the stories were about heroic animals that actually saved people during wartime. Others were about people going through crises in life, like Alzheimer's patients, and how their animals helped them. Others were more personal stories about what students did to go out and volunteer and help animals. And some were about how animals helped students going through a crisis at school or at home, and like a divorce. So they covered a huge gamut of different kinds of topics.
Okay. So they can write. So are these stories all true, or can they be fictional? Give me more of the guidelines.
They are both.
Oh, okay.
Some of them were autobiographical. It's like, what did I do to volunteer to help farm animals? Or how my dog helped me get through my parents' divorce. Others are fictional. They imagine a situation and imagine what the person is going through and imagine taking the standpoint of the animal and writing in the voice of the animal. So we have all kinds of stories.
Very nice.
In fact, our first winner has made a wonderful video for us that's available on our website, which is paloaltohumane.org, where students can find out about the contest and what they need to do to submit a story. And part of that page shows the video that the first winner made for us, in which she talks about how to put yourself in the animal's place. What's the animal's frame of mind? And where you can delve into how the animal feels based on how you felt, how you've observed animals, how you've observed others. It's a fascinating and very, very insightful and educational video for kids who are interested in writing about animals.
Now, do you find that things that are written by kids have much more traction with other kids than if grown-ups wrote them?
I think so. I definitely think so.
Okay.
I was just at a school a couple of weeks ago where I was speaking about the writing contest, and when I told students that the first winner came from their middle school, they were really thrilled to hear that and were very interested.
Well, can you tell us the name of the winner? The first winner?
The first winner is Vandana Ravi, and she is the one who made the video for us that I just described.
I love that. I want to talk more about the Ambassadors of Compassion story writing contest, but I also want to talk about, since you're talking about nature as a whole and things like that, there are things that happen in and around the city that people don't necessarily know how to react to. So I'm going to give you some situations, and you can tell me what a person should do in that situation.
Okay.
All right, so situation, and this one is actually a true situation, which is a huge nest fell out of a tree, and an adolescent crow was kind of stuck in a halfway area, and its parent crows were flying around panicked for about an hour. What would be the appropriate thing to do in that situation?
The appropriate thing to do would be to call animal control in the local area. They are prepared to deal with a situation like this. And some of the shelters, such as Peninsula Humane Society, actually has a wildlife center where this crow could be taken to, if he were injured, the adolescent crow, and rehabilitated. Otherwise, the animal control people would know how to get this crow back into his nest if he were not severely injured.
Okay.
So that would be definitely a call for animal control to deal with. And if they didn't have a wildlife center attached to their shelter, they have agreements with other local wildlife sanctuaries and centers where they could take an injured animal.
Okay, that's excellent. All right, here's another situation. You're walking along the street enjoying the day, and you see a stray animal. You see an animal wandering around. There's no people about. It's like a dog. It doesn't have a collar. What is the appropriate thing to do in that situation? Do you try and interact with it? Do you wait and see? What's the appropriate thing to do?
Well, that depends on the dog's behavior. If the dog approaches you and sits down and wants to be petted, definitely interact with the dog and try to get the dog to a safe place and then call animal control. If the dog is running around and you're not sure of his behavior, and this is what we always tell kids, even if the dog comes up to you, if you're not an adult and you can't read his body language, and we teach kids about their body language, please get an adult to call animal control and give the exact location of the dog and a description of the dog.
Okay. All right. Now, from the other side, you're grown up and there's a child in your life who is deathly afraid of animals, or let's say they're deathly afraid of a cat or a dog. What are some of the do's and don'ts for helping that child get over that fear?
Okay. Carole, are you going to say, or should I take this?
Well, I would say I think that's a matter for professionals. Schools often have counselors who deal with young people with those kinds of problems. I think that would be your first resort is to contact professionals.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And we also include, for general education purposes, information about animals' body language. So that you know if the animal is friendly or not. And we would be very happy to provide this to parents so that they could teach their children or engage with the children themselves. But we would definitely not bring in a cat or a dog and let him out and say, okay, he's behaving fine. No, I think that's a job for a professional, as Carole said.
Excellent, excellent. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 89.5 FM KPOO, San Francisco. We're speaking with Carole Hyde, who is the director of the Palo Alto Humane Society, and Leonor Delgado, who is education manager for said society. And you are running an Ambassadors of Compassion story writing contest. What are some helpful tools for children who are interested in writing? Are there any pieces of advice you can give them?
Well, one thing is I would suggest that people interested in our contest go onto our website and look at the stories that have been written by other people of the same age. That might give you ideas and confidence and a willingness to express yourself. It's a personal expression, and we encourage you to use a little of imagination, to see an animal's point of view. Animals and people help each other. I think we're very closely linked. And I think, open yourself up, go to the animal shelter and look at the animals and talk to them. That might give you ideas for your story. There are many ways to be inspired to create I think it's 800 to 1,000 words.
Okay.
And we certainly hope to hear from all of you. You go into our website and you can see past stories and you can see the rules for the contest and how you submit. So please join us.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, and I would recommend watching that video too to get some ideas.
Okay. Now for the children who have done outreach materials for you guys? What are some of the more popular materials that have gone out?
The most popular lately seems to be blankets. Everyone wants to make blankets, and we always have an audience for blankets. We work with several rescue groups who help donate things to shelters. And, in fact, I just received an email a few minutes ago about blankets and how should we make them. And I was just about ready to send a return message with some hints and an actual site and instructions about making blankets.
Okay. And do children also do any artwork for any of the print campaigns that you do?
Oh, Carole, you have to talk about our adoptables art. Yes, we have a wonderful program called Adoptables Art. You could also call it a pet painter project. We have school children, young people, different ages visit the shelter, and they meet the animals. They go back to their classroom, and under the supervision of their teacher, they spend a week or two painting renditions of their favorite animal, and they also write a story from the animal's point of view. What would an animal like to have in a happy home? What does an animal need for a loving home? And then the artwork is used to promote the idea of pet adoption. So we often have displays of the artwork in the shelter or community centers or in the school where the children study, maybe at the Children's Discovery Museum. So there are all kinds of ways in which this wonderful program helps to promote the idea of animal shelters and pet adoptions.
So I'm on your website right now, paloaltohumane.org, and I'm looking at the artwork, and oh my God, it's adorable.
Yeah, I just wanted to say we actually have an exhibit running right now for the entire month of May at the Rinconada branch of the Palo Alto Public Library, the City Public Library. And the librarian who we both set it up said that this is a favorite kind of exhibition. We've done it before, and people are just fascinated by looking at the animals and want to find out more about how they can get involved.
I love it. So is it the artwork along with the stories?
We just have artwork in this particular exhibit.
Okay.
Some of them we've had stories as well.
I can't even. Especially, the kitten eating out of the bowl. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
That's my favorite. We even have some kind of a hamster painted up there who was up for adoption at one point, and it's the cutest, the most beautiful portrait. It really is.
I love this. So, getting back to the writing contest, you said that you're opening this up to kids in San Francisco. So can anyone in the Bay Area enter as long as they're within the right age?
We have the contest running in Santa Cruz County, Santa Clara, San Mateo, and now this year San Francisco counties.
Excellent. So if people, so then I'm a bit confused. Are they entering into the Palo Alto Humane Society, or is it the San Francisco Humane Society in conjunction with the Palo Alto who's doing the contest?
No, it's directly Palo Alto Humane Society. So go onto our website for information on the contest and how to enter.
And again, can you tell again the deadline for submission?
It's July 31st.
And the age range for people who can enter?
This is middle school, so that's 7th and 8th graders.
So as long as they're still in middle school, they're free to enter.
Yes, and even if they just graduated 8th grade, they can still enter.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. So that's awesome. So if people want to find out more about other programs that are available, what do you recommend?
To go to our website and look at the education page.
Okay. And that's paloaltohumane.org.
Yeah.
All right. And if there's one message you'd like to get out for our listening audience, what would that be? I'll give you each a chance to. So we'll start with Carole. What would that be?
Well, I think that we want to love the world around us, including all the animals. And I would encourage parents to involve their children in local organizations that take care of animals. There's marine mammal centers. There are humane societies. There are all kinds of rescue organizations. And join and support and just become involved.
All right. And Leonor?
I would say keep checking our website and our Facebook page. We're very active on Facebook for up-and-coming activities and events. For example, in a couple of weeks, we will be having Yappy Hours again.
What's Yappy Hours?
At the local Palo Alto Sheraton.
What's Yappy Hours?
A Yappy Hour is when people come. It's safe. It's outdoors, social distance.
Uh-huh.
They can come for a snack or for dinner and bring their sociable dog and just get to meet others and meet us and learn about our programs and just have a good time in the company of their canine companions. And even if you don't have a dog, please come and meet us.
And when and where is that again?
That will be, the first one will be June 1st, which is a Wednesday, from 5:30 on at the Palo Alto Sheraton on El Camino.
Excellent. Wow. I'm glad I asked so that I can
And we're also going to be busy this summer again with, we have a lecture series that I think Carole would like to mention a few words. And we also have a program with the San Jose Children's Discovery Museum. That's a yearly program. It will be our 4th program, maybe even our 5th, I'm not sure, called Animals Inspire Us. And it's a lot of fun. We've been able to keep it up just like Adoptables art throughout the pandemic. We did a few Adoptables art sessions online through Zoom, and we also worked with the museum through Zoom and kept up classroom and scout visits through Zoom. So, Carole, do you want to mention more about our lecture series and what is?
Yes, we have a speaker series called Humane Planet, and it features thought leaders, people doing innovative action to preserve a habitable planet. And I'm very excited to say that in July, our next speaker will be Senator Cory Booker, and he will be speaking quite a bit on the farming system and on supporting small farms. And that will be July 13. So I encourage everybody to watch our website for information that will come out soon. That's free to the public. And he's very instrumental in animal welfare in the Congress. So please do join us. Leonor mentioned Animals Inspire Us, which is our program with the Children's Discovery Museum. This year we will be featuring San Francisco magician Patrick Livingston, and he will be doing all kinds of magic tricks to promote the well-being of animals amongst young people. And we have the Yappy Hour, as Leonor mentioned. And it's a busy summer ahead, so please watch our website, look for announcements.
Well, thank you both for being on the show today, and I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to talk to find out about all of this stuff.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you for having us.
You're welcome. All right, people of Earth, there's a lot of stuff to do to interact with animals. There's the writing competition. There's the Yappy Hour. There's so much. So that's paloaltohumane.org. And anytime I do an animal thing, I love playing the cute steins. They make me so happy. Of course, this is Meowlero.